listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You made it back for another week, and all you Scratchaholics out there, Scratchamania is running wild. It is running rampant in this town and all towns all over the world. So I gotta say, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. I mean, I've got Richard here in the room. I'm so glad to have Richard Bretta, the fourth Beatle, with us. He's the fourth member of the band, and I'm just so glad to have him here. Richard, welcome back, dude.
It's good to be back. A little hiatus for me, but the member of the Broken Hearts Club returns to the air with our good friend John. And let's dive in, guys.
Let's dive in right now. We do have a massive guest on our hands. We promised it to you guys on the live streams, and we are delivering as promised, and it's going to be epic on all levels. Let me get the other hosts on here. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, the karaoke machine, the Godzilla of all entertainment. He is the chill man himself, Randy Wilson. Randy, welcome to the show.
Great to see you guys. Richard, awesome to have you back in the studio today. We always love having you with us. And man, we do have an epic guest coming on today. But you know what? As this show drops, happy Halloween, everybody. Get ready for the party tonight.
And next we have the red-lipped lady, the witchy woman. She is the big red machine, and she is the lady that steals all of your hearts, and she puts them in her little cauldron and mixes them up. It is Brooke Johnson. Brooke, welcome back.
Thank you. Hello. And I cannot wait for this episode. You have no idea. Like, I was dreaming about it last night. And I was also dreaming about you too, I guess, and all three of you in my dreams. So this is going to be a great one. And Richard, thank you for being here. I miss you, buddy.
Missed you guys.
Well, it's always great when we have Richard in the room with me. And I wish you guys were here in studio, but I know that Brooke is somewhere hiding in my closet close by, so it's close enough. And Randy is in a remote location somewhere where the FBI won't let us tell you. So let's get to it, everybody. We're not wasting the sauce today. We've got said massive guest, and I'm just going to build it up by saying this man, I mean, what hasn't he done? He's had, he's been in movies, he's been in TV. He has played everywhere. He plays with Wynchester. He plays with Tenecious D. He has also even played with the legendary, and I'm talking super legendary, John Carpenter. This guy has done it all, and he has given us our time today, and we are bringing it to you. So we have John Konesky on. John, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Man, it's such an honor to have you on. I mean, from musician to musician, I mean, I've watched so much of your stuff. I've watched your videos where you're teaching people guitar. I've watched all sorts of, I mean, you are what I aspire to be as a guitar player. And I don't mean to flatter so much right off the bat, but I have to be honest with you. Like, I mean, just listening to all of your different things and even your solo work, I mean, it's phenomenal. So I got to ask you right off the bat, my friend, you live this lifestyle and you're doing all of these things. You're touring. How the heck did you and my man Richard over here end up? I mean, Richard, do you want to tell us, I guess, how did you guys meet and what's the connection here?
Well, this will speak to a little bit of John's character too. When the pandemic was in its height, I restore all hot rods and have my little shop here in Lincoln. And John, who I followed for years prior, was, because he's the guitar player in Tenacious D, right? Why wouldn't you? John was making masks because in our industry, there was a shortage of masks. And we need masks to breathe and do our jobs. And this man, out of the kindness of his heart, is making masks, sending them to people, no charge, I might add. So I just sent the man a message and I'm like, hey, this is a long shot, but this man himself stitched me a camo mask, dropped it in the mail. The thing shows up to my house. I'm like, no effing way, right? And there it is. So John used to do this thing on his Instagram, which he needs to bring back, by the way. He would play a vinyl record and just kind of spin you his tunes, what he was listening to, you know, like his influences. And so in return, I got his address. I mailed him an Al Stewart Greatest Hits vinyl. And, you know, I bug him on occasion. I try not to bug him too much, but man, he's so gracious and kind. And that's just the kind of guy he is. So not a creepy stalker at all. Just
I actually forgot about the mask thing.
wow.
Above everything else, I'm a professional hobbyist, and one of those hobbies is sewing. So I was making masks because it was like I had an abundance of time, and it was kind of fun to do. So I just started sending them out to people. What I remember is I had this like 1980s military truck that I loved. And Richard was like, just send it out and I'll paint it for you. And I wanted to so bad. But I was like, you don't want to mess with this truck. It's a nightmare.
I would have. I would have.
You would have still been doing body work.
You still have the Miata?
I sold both of them because it was just a pain. I just got so tired of being in and out of the shop. There was only so much I like felt like wrenching on, and I eventually just sold them and bought a normal person car.
Well, you're far from normal.
Maybe someday I'll have one again, but
well, you got me in your pocket, dude. Can you tell us how a kid from Ohio ends up where you are today? Like, how does this happen?
There's a lot of luck involved. I mean, me and my friend John Spiker were playing in bands in Ohio. We're both from Columbus. We started hanging out around like 18, 19 years old, just out of high school. And we played in a band, and this girl that we knew, who was the girlfriend of our drummer at the time, ended up meeting Jack and Kyle and became friends with them and introduced us. And the timing was just perfect, where the first Tenacious D record was kind of like that touring cycle was coming to an end. Jack was getting busier with movies, and Kyle was wanting to play still. So he started this band called Trainwreck.
Yeah.
And he literally just, him and JR, who was Lee from Tenecious D, they, as Trainwreck, flew to Ohio and just picked up local guys to be the band. And we did this mini Ohio tour. And that happened to be John and I's band. So it was me and John and a couple guys that we played with then. Shortly after that, John and I moved to Los Angeles because, again, coincidentally, like we already had plans to do that. And then the fact that we met Kyle just made it a little easier. We had like someone to call when we got here. But the sequence of events there was a lot of luck involved in that.
Timing and luck. And now John, he's a bass player in the D, right?
Yes, amongst other things. He also he's produced some of the recent stuff, and he also tour manages. He's kind of an insane jack of all trades, master of all trades.
What a story, though. I mean, I've always wondered to myself, being a low-level musician, like, what does it take to get to the top? And I mean, a lot of people do say that there's, the stars align and, a little bit of luck happens here or there, but it's just so interesting. I mean, you've risen to a massive level. I mean, I can't even imagine, like, I'm a huge horror fan. I can't even imagine being on the same stage and being in the capacity that you are in, like John Carpenter's band. Like, how cool is that? I mean, so what other steps did it take aside from that? I mean, aside from just for the musician at home that's just sitting there here in the Midwest, and you understand as an Ohio boy how the Midwest can be. Being a musician, a lot of people, they almost feel like they can't escape this town, they can't escape this place, and you get that feeling. But you did it. I mean, you made it out, and you went to LA, and So can you give any musicians, can you give them any advice on like what they should do to never give up on their dreams?
Yeah, well, there's a part of me that doesn't want to recommend it because it's a really difficult business that requires an enormous amount of risk if you don't have any kind of safety net, which I did not. So I came out here with nothing. And I'm telling you this through the lens of early 2000s, pre-YouTube, pre-social media, really. I mean, MySpace wasn't even a thing quite yet when I moved here. So it was a completely different universe. I think it's a smaller world now. I don't think your aspiring musician in the Midwest needs to feel so trapped by their belongings with the level of reach that any individual can have from anywhere. Cutting through is hard anywhere. It's still hard here. But knowing Kyle when I got here was enough of a little push into a world where there are people who can hire you essentially.
Yeah. So the Trainwreck gig kind of led to the Tenacious D.
It did.
Or-
Yeah. Trainwreck was 2002 and 3 was when it kind of started. 2003 was when John and I moved to LA, but we did Trainwreck gigs in 2002 while we were living in Columbus. So we were already working with Kyle before we left. Trainwreck was all we did. And lived in essentially poverty for a couple of years before Pick of Destiny started.
Mhm.
And we did not have any expectations to be involved in that. We were as shocked as anyone when we were asked to play on it because Trainwreck was, we were touring for the first time. We were getting that experience, but we were touring in an RV and we were playing bars. We'd be lucky if 100 people were at a show.
Total leap of faith, man.
Well, we went from that to, do you guys want to play on Pick a Destiny, which was, oh my God, to we're doing a stadium tour in promotion for the movie. So it was playing the Viper Room was like kind of where we kind of started. Trainwreck was like Viper Room, LA, and like local, not local, but sorry, like small bar touring. And then we went from that to Madison Square Garden and an arena tour around the States and the UK. And it was insane. Like to go from, I had never had any experience remotely similar. It was a trial by fire. It was crazy. We made a lot of mistakes. We had a lot of expectations that weren't, you learn that it's a world that you just cannot be taught until you see it.
So real quick here, I'm just gonna butt in. These guys already know all of this, but Jack Black is my hall pass, and he has been for many, many years. I love that man. And since you get to play and you have been around him, we're like dying to know, like, what is he who he really is? But I want to know the story between you two. Like, is there something really funny or just something you remember, or did he say anything with you two in your relationship?
Well, I've known Jack now for 20 years or so. I was pretty starstruck for a long time. I struggled to really even hold a conversation with him because I was such a fan. As I got older, kind of just, that sort of washes away and whatever. But Jack, some of the funniest stuff with him is not stuff that you see. I mean, he's hilarious on everything he does, but he is that person 100% of the time off camera, off stage.
Do you get to be part of that though? Do you get to like go in and help Jack be silly, or like off stage, on stage?
We are a family at this point. We have decades of inside jokes, and him and Kyle even more so, back to the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So we are all that, we're a goofy, weird family. And it's like, it's the absolute joy of my life to get to travel and spend time with all of those guys.
Yeah. Everything about it is just fun. So,
Well, and you being starstruck, I mean, he's got to be in awe. I mean, he's a music fan. He plays guitar and he sings. He's got to be in awe of your guitar playing. I mean, let's be honest, you're up there and you're ripping, and so there's a certain amount of that where I'll bet he just looks over, or you guys make an exchange on stage, as we all know how it is as a musician, and he's got to be in awe of that guitar playing. I mean, let's not be don't have to be modest for you. You're a shredder, man.
oh yeah,
You are an absolute shredder on
Insane.
guitar. So it's got to be kind of a big moment for them too, to have such a quality guitar player.
Well, that's where I was kind of going with. So I can have 3 hall passes. So I have a Jack, a Kyle, and maybe a John. It's just about hanging out though and just having fun. That's all it is. Just a hall pass, having fun. And we can make jokes and songs. That would be so badass to hang out with you guys. That would be my dream come true. Oh, you guys are, and you can, oh my gosh, I can't stop watching you play. I mean, I just did it over and over last night. Like I said, I dreamt all about you guys, but you are a badass at that. And all you musicians are like, oh, some luck and this and that. No, it took a lot of hard work. You wrote 9 years old when you started and just worked your way up. I don't know I think the universe aligned just perfectly, because you and your shredding and all of that is really cool. And we got Richard, we got him a guitar. Have you been practicing, Richard?
My Dave Grohl guitar sits in the corner because it means a lot from where that thing came from. So.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him. I don't wear cologne. I wear the Gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
The community came together for me, John, when I had my heart attack. And they threw this benefit for me. And of course, I didn't want it to happen, but sometimes things happen. And
yeah,
I had a $40,000 helicopter life flight bill to pay, and the music community came together. The event was epic, and everybody came together and bought me this Dave Grohl guitar, and it sits in the corner. And I think you got my David Gilmour tickets to the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, thank you.
Of course, I was on a no travel, and your girlfriend was sending me videos of the show, so
yeah,
that meant a lot. So
yeah, thank you for that. That was awesome.
I wasn't sure you were going to be able to make it, but they went to good use. So,
well,
yeah,
as a guitar player, let's settle this right now. I got to ask you, okay, who is the guy? If you had to put them up against each other, who's the guy? Is it David Gilmour or is it Roger Waters? Who is the king guitar player between those two?
Well, Roger Waters is a bass player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a bass player, but he's a hell of a guitar player. And a lot of people who don't understand, yes, you're right. A lot of people who don't understand Pink Floyd, they want to say that Roger Waters is the better musician. Maybe that's the better question.
I don't know. I can tell you this: when I was on a Tenacious D tour, and we all went and saw Roger Waters do The Wall at Fenway, and it was one of the most moving concert experiences I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it since. So that was awesome. But I don't know. I mean, gosh, it's David. When you're talking about like just amazingly musical guitar playing, that's David Gilmour, obviously, is so special in that regard. So
Yeah, they're both equally as, I mean, they're both amazing. They both chipped out such an amazing world to everybody and opened up everybody's eyes to a certain type of rock. So I think they both, it's just always interesting to me, and I always want to get like and I consider you to be a very famous guitar player's perspective on Pink Floyd. I love them both. So it's not like we're just doing clickbait here to get Roger Waters or David Gilmour mad. I just really want to know for the audience, because a lot of times when I brought it up, people always get a little bit worked up over the two of them, and they draw the lines in the sand. It's kind of like the Sammy Hagar and the David Lee Roth thing. They draw their lines and get upset. So
I know I came to the realization recently that I think I prefer Hagar, and I think it's a product of age.
I am with you, John. Yeah.
I think men of a certain age need to go into Hagar's camp.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is really good. And also, so I was listening to Jack got me into this idea of doing these chronological listen throughs. So you just like pick an artist and listen from beginning to end. And when you listen to, I think it's David Lee Roth on the first 5 albums, when you listen to them chronologically, you're kind of over that thing. And it was sort of a brilliant move for them to pivot there when they did, because it's like a breath of fresh air after you ram through the first 5 records. And it's like you get kind of tired of the camp a little bit, and then it's like Sammy Hagar comes in and just shreds. But I'm a big fan of his earlier stuff too, with Montrose.
Yes.
It was a great band.
Well, I am the guy of that certain age.
Yeah.
I grew up with both of that, and I was fortunate to go see Van Halen when kind of the little reunion tour with David came back, saw him in Omaha, and then went down to Kansas City to see him again. And David was a showman, but
Sure.
he couldn't hit the high notes anymore in those later years. No. But I tell you what, every time I see Sammy, I tell you what, like, I just think he gets better with age all the time.
Yeah,
so I kind of, when you said that, I'm like, yep, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I love both, but I definitely, you will find me listening to more of the Sammy stuff here more, in recent past here.
Yeah. There was some just huge songs. I mean, just big like hooks and stuff too. It's really hard to deny the power of that era. And yeah, I'm not surprised that he still has his pipes. He seems like he was probably maybe a little bit more clean living to some degree.
I think you're probably right. Even though I don't mind a little Cabo Wabo tequila every once in a while. So John, do you do a lot of writing for yourself, or?
I do. I mean, Wynchester, mostly with Mike, my partner in Wynchester, and then also we have like a rock band called Crusade, and then everything like around the Kyle Gass Band records that we did. That was a lot of me and Mike, or me and Mike and Kyle. So I tend to I don't really like to write alone because I like to have immediate feedback. I get too in my head, and I just end up throwing everything away.
When did you and Mike connect? He's a Sasquatch from the Tenacious D world, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah, well, after
he's a hell of a
John C. Reilly was Sasquatch on the episodes in the movie, and then Mike was in I met Mike when he was in a Sasquatch band he had put together a Sasquatch band with the end game of opening for Tenecious D. That was the whole goal from the beginning.
Whoa.
And he wrote me on MySpace in like 2006 or 7 or something, and asked if Trainwreck needed a guitar player. So he wrote the guitar player of Trainwreck asking if Trainwreck needed a guitar player.
Ballsy.
And I was like, I kind of had to laugh. But I saw on his page that he had a Sasquatch band. And I was like, that's a great opener for Trainwreck, actually, because that's what I could do then. And so we did a few shows with him, and we had him open his band, his Sasquatch band, which was like 4 guys all in full squatch. And we became friends immediately. I mean, Mike has such a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always wanted to work with like a powerful vocalist, like especially in like the sort of classic rock realm. 'Cause that's what I grew up with. And that's kind of style is really hard to come by. It's a unique and rare talent to be able to sing like that. And though it seemed like you can't really find those guys anymore, although there's more now, but back then, as like I had never met anyone that could sing like Paul Rodgers.
Right. And I think he plays every instrument on the planet now that I've followed you guys for a few years. Like, he's back there drumming and singing in Crusade.
Yeah.
He jumps up on the guitar in Wynchester. It's like, dude, what don't you play? So
yeah, and I think he started as a drummer. His dad plays drums, and he grew up as a kid getting like dragged to the bars with his dad for the gigs and stuff. And he just grew up in it.
nice.
Do you play other instruments, John, aside from just lead?
Only stringed, fretted instruments.
Well, Wynchester is fantastic. I mean, when you dive into it and you really take that dive, for those of you who haven't heard them yet, I mean, you're not going to be disappointed. Winchester's a legit epic band. Like I've got them now on my playlists. I mean, it really hit me right in you guys, that's just the type of band that I love. Like it's got that Southern rock feel to it. It's got everything that you would ever want. It's got a country twang to it in a certain way. So for all of you that are listening, I mean, you're not going to be disappointed by this band. But how long have you guys been playing together in Wynchester? And do you guys have some more big things coming up with them?
Well, we just put out a record. We're talking about kind of what we're having a hard time fitting into the modern paradigm of the music business. We're a little too old for TikTok. And we kind of hate that whole thing, but we're sort of wrestling with this idea that you have to be a content creator in addition to just playing, music or whatever. But Mike and I have been working together since probably, I don't know, maybe 2010 or so. We started Wynchester around the same time that we started doing KGB with Kyle as well. And we sort of just worked on both of those for the last decade and a half, essentially.
For guitar players who are trying to learn guitar, I've noticed that you teach some guitar and some different things, and you've actually even paired with Marty, who anybody who knows, anyone who's picked up a guitar and just wanted to learn a simple song has brushed with this guy on YouTube. Like this guy is the guy where if I were to go down the street and see a guitar player somewhere and say, "Hey, you know Marty, right?" They would know exactly who I'm talking about. So how did you get into that and instructing people, and where can people find you if they want to? Are you still doing that?
I do it sometimes. I've been teaching, this business is completely inconsistent. So the entire time I've been in Los Angeles, there'll be slow times where I'm not touring, and I'll occasionally pop back into teaching. And I had like an online like lesson thing going for a long time. And Kyle and I started this web series called Guitarings. And that was around the time when Marty was like just kind of blowing up as like the premier kind of internet guitar teacher. And we were doing an appearance at NAMM, which is like the music industry trade show. And we met Marty there. And Marty was super helpful in the beginning for us for our little web show. He came on our show and stuff. And I've stayed friends with Marty ever since then. We keep in touch and stuff.
So Scratch the Vinyl is based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. No, we are not all children of the corn. We do like are you planning on coming to Nebraska anytime soon?
Unfortunately, I don't have any touring plans at the moment. Nothing is really booked with any of the projects that I do or that I'm part of. Unfortunately, it's been a pretty slow, year or so. But hopefully soon. Also, I don't know that I've ever played Nebraska.
I was just going to ask you that if you've ever been here, because I think the last concert, well, I went to when they were at the Pinewood, it was Tenecious D, and they had the wonderful castles that were shaped as human organs.
Oh, was that Pick a Destiny?
No,
Yes. No. It was
you guys played here your last tour at the Pinewood Bowl.
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, here it is in 2019-ish.
Yes. Because my son's name is Phoenix, and I was going to take him, and then he couldn't go, and I was like, oh, there's penises everywhere.
Oh, yeah. That might have been, that era would have been post-apocalypto.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he says it was a great show, and that was the one that got away from me. Like there's a lot of shows that I really wanted to go to, and I had a ticket to go, and for whatever reason it didn't work out, and I didn't make it. So yeah, it was the one that got away from me, but I heard it was fantastic.
I saw the post-apocalypto tour twice. I went down to Kansas City, and it was pouring ass rain. And I shot John a message. I'm like, is this show gonna happen? And he texts me, he's like, we're on in 30, and out came Wynchester. So yeah. Speaking of that show, you guys talked a lot about Ronnie James Dio. Did you get to meet him back in the day when you guys were—
I did, yeah. I met him when he did the vocal, when they were recording vocals for
is it Kickapoo or
Kickapoo? Sorry, Kickapoo. Yeah. He was an absolute sweetheart. He was such a nice guy. And Spiker has kind of more stories about like actually recording him and stuff. I wasn't really there for the whole John Spiker was actually working for the producer John King at the time.
Yeah.
And said he's just like the most professional, like easygoing, and just he opens his mouth and Dio comes out, and it's just amazing. It's like an effortless kind of thing.
I'm old enough. I got to see him twice in the 80s, and then in his later years, he was doing small clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So he came through Lincoln here at a little bar called the Royal Grove.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up early, and he's out here mingling with us old metalheads, and the sweetest guy. You're right.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you guys got to cross paths when you're making that video. So
yeah, he was an absolute joy. He was great. Yeah, really, really sad to lose him a little too soon.
Ahoy, mateys! Christopher Columbus here. You know me. I discovered America, or at least that's what the history books have been saying for years. Anyways, I have a little confession to make. My compass quit halfway through the trip, and I got lost at sea on the way there. Ahoy, Captain. What direction should we point the boat? Shut up, you fool. I'm in the middle of a commercial here. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. When we arrived on land there, the natives were all decked out in their cool Viking gear. They said these big, smelly, bearded guys came, hung out, then split with all their cool stuff.
Hi, it was a weird day.
That could have been our cool stuff. We could have claimed all this great treasure and all this pirate's plunder.
But sir, how will we steer the boat if we don't have a compass?
Well, this next trip is going to be different. I'm heading to Slying Tattoo to get a compass on my hand. After that, everything is coming up Christopher Columbus.
Ahoy, sir. That new ink looks great on you. After I swapped and pooped that and greased the hootenannies, I think we're gonna be back to spin and... Oh, no.
What is it now, you buffoon?
It appears as if America's shores are just on the horizon.
What? How could this be? I've been pointing my arm in the same direction for days. Well, looks like this tattoo compass is broken too. Guess I'll have to head back to Sly Ink for that dolphin lower back tattoo I've been wanting to get. Well, looks like our native friends are waving us in, but oh, wait, they don't look very happy. Well, until next time, friends, if there is one.
So Halloween's coming up, and we got to talk about your latest venture, John Carpenter. How on earth do you land this gig?
Well, I've been doing it since about 2015, 2016.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had a whole run with him a few years prior to the pandemic. So when I moved to California, one of my first friends that I met here was Daniel Davies, who's John Carpenter's godson. And he had this really amazing kind of stoner rock band called Year Long Disaster that put out a few records. I think they had a record on back when there was the Volcom label and stuff. I met him just playing. He was playing at a little bar in town, whatever. And I just thought they were a great band. So we started chatting. We just hung out a bunch and kind of connected on our love of Star Trek Next Gen. And then years later, he's like, I'm putting together this show for John Carpenter, and it basically he needed somebody like a Spiker role to kind of help with the logistical side of everything, and he wanted to do it as a band, not it would be so easy to just put all that stuff on tracks, and just have John and them up there. But he wanted to do it real, have it be a real band performing these, which I have so much respect for that. I think a lot of times people just kind of want to take the easy route now. But it lacks something, there's that special element when you get human beings playing together. So he put it together as a band, and he brought in what is essentially Tenacious D's rhythm section, because we've all been playing together for so long. So it's me and Spiker and Scott Seaver, who's the drummer with Tenacious D, live drummer. So
Scott's an animal. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. And he's his workload on that show is insane. The amount of stuff that he juggles, because he's triggering samples and sounds too on a pad, and basically just running the whole kind of just keeping us all on track. It's the hardest thing in the world is to not have to play that much.
Right.
Because
go back till it's your turn.
That and a section, because it's all written to picture. So it's you might have a section that's just a strange amount of bars and it goes on for a long time and then it changes to something else. So your mind can't wander. But you might just be playing E for, 64 bars or whatever. And then there's a weird something, not to be a music nerd about it, but it's uniquely challenging and it's a super fun gig. We've been doing it for a while, and we just got kind of called back in for this group of shows.
Yeah, what an amazing honor to be around such a legend. And it's not like in a band setting where you can you can be like after the show, like, man, you really biffed it on that part, John. Like I would never say that to John Carpenter. But I mean, what's John like in regular? Is he just a regular, cool, down to earth guy? What's he like for people to know?
He's awesome. It's like uh he's really fun. I mean, he's super sharp, really funny. He's got kind of like a dark sense of humor. Um, and I think you get somebody like that, and I think it's the same with the Jack and Kyle too. And you end up being this kind of tight family. And so your experience with this person is going to be a lot different than the person they meet at like it with John Carpenter. Like, he might do those like convention things or like whatever. Um, so I feel so honored to get to be like in a tight touring family with him and see, John Carpenter, the family man, John Carpenter, the patriarch of this thing that he's, of his life's work, and it's a lot of fun.
And you have shows this week, right?
Yeah, so the last two, we did a run of LA shows, and yeah, so we have the Halloween show on Friday and then another one on Saturday.
Awesome, dude. Hope
Where is this at? Because I got family up in there that would.
It's called the Belasco Theater. It's downtown, Belasco.
Well, there you go. If they're there or you're in the area, yeah, are these? I mean, these are selling like hotcakes though too, right? I mean, you guys, from what I understand, these are pretty packed shows. These are jam packed, right?
There's a lot of standing room because it's kind of like a more like a rock show than it is an orchestral thing, So they might open some seats as it gets closer, if they're not already.
Well, John, this is a music show, and we would be ridiculous since Richard already mentioned that you during the COVID times you were doing a vinyl thing where you were literally scratching the vinyl and talking about records and stuff. So we got to ask you. I mean, are there any? You're obviously inspired by, and you have probably a pretty good collection. What's your collection like, and what's your most prized possession when it comes to records?
That's a good question. I do have a pretty extensive collection. I've been collecting for as long as I can remember. Starting with basically my mom's collection, which became the beginning of my collection, and then I sort of expanded from there. Gosh, I'd say I've pared it down at times over the years, but like, I'm just trying to think if there's anything that stands out as like, I like weird stuff sometimes. Like, I like getting records when I'm in places that I've never been, like record shopping in Greece and getting Demi Rousseau records or finding stuff like that. I have this Alaskan like R&B singer from the 70s named Archie James Kavanaugh. I have an original sealed copy of that's pretty impossible to find. I have some stuff like that. Mostly it's just stuff I like to listen to.
Do you have your own?
My own records?
Yeah, like
I never listen to my
on. Yeah, but do you have them? Do you?
Well, I have them because a lot of times, like with Wynchester, I have to, if somebody buys one, I have to pack it up and send it to them. So,
What's your address? I'm gonna go buy one. Just kidding. And I won't show up at your doorstep, I promise. Just kidding. I'm serious. I would like to order some of your vinyls. I think that you should listen to them. I think it's pretty badass that you even have them.
That's something that, like, whenever I put a record out, I need to make sure that there's a vinyl release. It's important to me.
Yeah, you sent me the Wynchester and the Crusade vinyl, so
nice.
I got them both kicking around. So
and didn't you send him something one time, a vinyl?
Al Stewart's greatest hits. I was hoping it was going to make his rotation.
I thought it was Year of the Cat.
Was it Year of the Cat?
I'm pretty sure it was Year of the Cat.
I don't know.
Maybe it was Greatest Hits. I could double check,
I
but
thought maybe you'd appreciate the guitar playing. Al Stewart was in Omaha a few months back. He's on his farewell tour, and the man is 80 years old, and they brought it. It was incredible.
I love that song.
Yeah. Leo Kottke's going to be in Omaha here in the next month, and your solo record reminds me a lot of his playing too. So,
well, that's a generous comparison, but Leo Kottke was just here too, but I missed it. I was gonna go, but I missed it. But yeah, he's amazing.
Rush is coming out to the Forum, so I might be in your neighborhood when they come around if I don't have another incident.
You won't, Richard. You're gonna make it to that show, guaranteed.
We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people excited about the Rush reunion.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So,
John, do you have any major influences that like coming up really truly inspired you? Like me growing up and listening to like Merle Haggard and different things, and then like as I got older and threw all that away and started listening to grunge, obviously the Nirvana sound and Alice in Chains and STP did it for me. What were those big aha moments for you?
Well, I started playing guitar. I was like about 9 years old, and I saw Slash playing on a Guns N' Roses video, and I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And I was never cool, and I'm still not, but I thought maybe the guitar might be the thing that made me cool. So I don't really listen to a lot of that era or anything now, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Slash is probably the first influence that I ever had as a guitar player. Later, I had a big like light bulb moment when I heard John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu Orchestra. That was like a game changer for me. I'd never heard like I guess jazz or jazz fusion guitar playing played so kind of like raw and sloppily. And I loved the like I just loved the energy in it. And then also it sounded different. I got so sick of like, not sick of it, but like I love classic rock. I'll always love classic rock and hard rock from the 70s and stuff. But when it's all you hear on the back in the days of radio or whatever, it's like I got really kind of like burnt out on hearing the same kind of thing. So when somebody introduced me to Mahavishnu Orchestra, it opened the door to allowing myself to be weird as a musician. And weirdly, Jethro Tull was also another one of those that like, God, I was like, wait, you can be a total nerd too, and still, this is awesome. So
when I first heard Steely Dan, I was like, oh, you can play all the chords in one song.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I am a huge Steely Dan fan as well.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss not to bring up to Richard that I pulled out all my Ace Frehley albums last week, and just kind of little nostalgic back to, when I was a kid and the first time I saw Ace come out and play the guitar, and I was like, I mean, I was hooked then in like 74, 75, and I was like, this is the greatest ever. And anyways, a sad passing on Ace passing away recently.
Talk about properly played, but yeah, he started it all for me. I mean, first show in 79, I'm 10 years old. So yeah, that was a game changer for me. So that was kind of my influence. And then my sister played, of course, Black Sabbath's Paranoid record for me. And I'm like, oh my God, what is
I was saying something the other day. I said, I was fortunate to remember a time when I had Ace Frehley, Randy Rhoads, and Eddie Van Halen, and I thought, and you look back now, you're like, man, how great were those guys? What an influence.
John, what's coming up for you, dude?
got the JC shows this weekend, and beyond that, I do not know. Mike and I are talking about starting to do some writing again. I think we want to roll out some singles, maybe something before the end of the year. I'm doing a record with Brooks Wackerman.
Yeah, extraordinaire.
And we're getting close to finishing that and working on a release strategy for that for next spring. We released an EP this past year. The band's called Missoula, and it's kind of prog instrumental. And that's been really fun because Brooks is an absolute monster. So I get to try to keep up with him. But we've had fun being creative together and just bouncing weird ideas back and forth. So yeah, there's that coming. I'm just kind of waiting for, I hope touring picks up again. That's honestly what I love to do more than anything, but it's been slow, obviously. But
If you need anybody, if you get Sasquatch back or anything, I have the best feet for that. My nickname is Yeti. So if you need help with the Sasquatch stuff, I got you. Also, I have a car if you need it. It's called a Tribute, not the greatest car in the world, but it is a Tribute.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can borrow that anytime you'd like. And I love the goofiness that you have. And that is something that I adore, admire, and that is right down my lane, all of it. It is so badass. And if this is a weird question, but just besides more wishes, what would you wish for? Just one wish. What is your wish before we wrap this up?
To be busier.
A musician's true wish, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm like, here, you can come, we'll swap.
Yeah.
This goes back to John's caution about be careful what you wish for getting into the industry because, you know, his band Tenacious D, the guys are busy doing other things, and now John waits. So we feel it, my friend. And folks, where can we find John? Where can we find like if we want to buy some of your merch? You know, help keep you.
Let me just Wynchester.com.
And that's with a Y.
With a Y, WYN. There's a merch tab, and it'll send you to my merch store, which is called Space Horse. And we have Wynchester albums and hats, and the Crusade vinyl is there too. And that's pretty much everything that I have.
I need me a Wynchester hoodie.
Oh yeah, we don't have hoodies. We don't have hoodies.
I'm gonna have to get your express written permission to make one. So
yeah,
I'll send you one.
He'll probably sew it for you.
Yeah, right.
sign the little tag right there.
Yeah.
That'll keep you busy.
Always, John, you know, we get to talking and time flies, and we really appreciate you taking a little time out of your schedule to talk with us. And
of course,
I hope everybody, our Scratch the Vinyl fans, really enjoyed this episode because we sure did. And thank you for your time, man.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, this was a blast, everybody. And Scratchaholics and Lincolnites and all the people all over the world who are listening. We delivered. We gave you a world-class guy, and we're just so fortunate to have him on. So I would say this before going, John, is if you are in the area, you might want to file a restraining order against Brooke because it sounds like she's looking for you. No, she's really cool, but we really appreciate you being on. And thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you on the flip side, and we'll do it next week here on
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, Scratchaholics out there. We gave you a championship level show. We gave you guys the best of the best guests here for Halloween. We are so happy that you guys have made it this far with us and continue to support this show. I'm your good bud, El Podcastico, and we got to go ahead and thank all of our great sponsors. So we want to thank the Elegant Sasquatch, of course, Sly Ink Tattoo. I mean, I can't say enough about those places and those businesses, but also we want to thank Backtrack Records. Backtrack Records, everybody. I challenge you, yes, you out there, to try to buy those records before I do, because I promise you guys, I'm going to go there and I am going to, with all that money that I make, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to buy the dang store and I'm going to keep all those records for myself, or you guys can try to beat me to it. So go there. It's the best place in town to get records. It is the only place you can go early. It's the only place that you can go on a Monday a lot of times. So it's the best place that I can imagine to go get in those bins, dig in those bins, and find yourself some gold there at Backtrack Records. Also, another sponsor of ours is Roots Music Shop. Go there, buy, sell, trade instruments. All the instruments you see here and so much more, all the gear that I have, I basically got at Roots Music Shop and I love it. I have guitar pedals, I have everything you could think of, and I got it all there. I buy, sell, and trade there. Ryan has always done me so good, and I promise he won't chase you away. He will embrace you. He will hold your hand. Well, he might not do that, but he will guide you to some of the best sales in town. So go there, check out Roots Music Shop. I love the place. I've been going there since it started. So tell him El Podcastico and the Scratch the Vinyl podcast sent you, and I swear to you, he won't chase you off. We got Little Bill's Barbecue, the best barbecue in the business. 8 flavors of the best flavors of your life. It is so good, everybody. I got to be honest with you. I have literally been dumping it in a bowl and just soaking my face in it. And my face is so soft. You can't see it right now because a luchador never reveals too much. But I'm telling you, underneath this mask is a beautiful face, a model's face, and it is all because of Lil Bill's Barbecue. So check them out. Find them on Facebook Marketplace. You guys will not be disappointed in what you do with that. And I mean, you have to drop the Scratch the Vinyl podcast to them. Maybe they'll give you a discount. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But they'll definitely welcome your buying power and all the Scratchaholics out there. I know you guys love barbecue sauce, and I've been chugging it. I've been inserting it into my muscles. I use it for everything. I mean, I fill up my car with it and I get better gas mileage, but you guys can't miss. So get Lil Bill's Barbecue. American Senior Benefits. Ask for Jason Dugash, the man with the plan. Jason, oh my gosh, it's not goulash, Dugash. If you can say that twice, I will give you a high five. So get a hold of them, get a hold of American Senior Benefits, and ask for Jason Dugash, and I promise you he's going to hook you up with a great plan. We want to thank one of our new sponsors, Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. We're having the big Halloween show tonight there. If you guys are listening right here, bright and early in the morning, then you guys know that your night plans are already made. So you're, after you guys do your little trick-or-treating for maybe an hour or so, you guys are going to head over to Madsen's, and it's going to be the biggest party and the biggest thing going on under one roof in all of the land. So go to Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. Check us out. There's going to be live streams. And speaking of live streams, we want you guys to check out these live streams that we're doing now. It's a no holds barred match, basically, with me, Brooke, Randy, and guests, where we kind of let loose and we kind of start flowing, saying some crazy stuff. And you guys don't want to miss what Brooke says on this thing. You don't want to miss what happens on these live streams. But check out our channel at Scratch the Vinyl Podcast on YouTube. And like, subscribe, and share. We really need you guys' help. You guys are pushing us over the top, but now it's time to make that championship move, just like El Podcastico here. And we're going straight to the top, baby. We're doing it all. So go there. We need you guys on the socials too. Find us at Scratch the Vinyl Podcast everywhere. TikTok, Instagram. Heck, if MySpace is still on there, we might even be on there. So go there, everybody. Facebook, and be a part of the journey. Be a Scratchaholic and let Scratchamania run wild on you. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this show and our guest, the guitar player for Tenacious D, amongst many other things, John Konesky. It was a blast. I hope you guys stick around because there's plenty more going on. And lastly, we want to thank Richard Bretta, the 4th member of the band. We love you, buddy, and we're so glad that you're here with us and you're you're our friend and you'll come on the show ever so often. It's just a blast. And everybody seems to like Richard. I wish I knew what that was like, but hey, I'm too busy winning championship matches and doing all this cool stuff. So, hey, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So thank you, Richard. We love you. And all you Scratch the Vinyl fans out there, we love you guys too. Happy Halloween. Keep on keeping on. And we'll catch you on the flip side here on Scratch the Vinyl.